Learning to connect deeply with other folks, for me, has started with just vulnerable communication. So in this video, I want to talk about how to start vulnerably communicating, because that can be a tough process when you don't even know how to start, especially if you checked out my first video where I talk about we come from a lot of betrayal and not knowing how to trust. So when you're carrying all that stuff with you, how do you even start to vulnerably communicate? So in this video, I want to talk about that, and I think that one, begins with yourself. Two, it's about accepting all of your truth, and then three, it's very important to determine who is like worth vulnerably communicating with. So first off, I think it begins with yourself. Before you can communicate with anybody, I think it's important to know what's going on up here with yourself and not just kind of like talking out of turn or just saying things just to say things. Like, I think for me, clarity within myself has helped me to show up so much better. It has helped me to understand who I am so that I can be able to speak my truth. And if you can't do this like on the spot or in your head, which is really tough, and there are times that I can't even do it, I think it's okay to kind of vomit out of the mouth and talk to someone that you trust. But if you don't have anyone, pen and paper. I think that journaling is your best friend because it just kind of throws it all out there. And I just feel like there's so many thoughts and emotions and things that we go through every single day. And we underestimate how confusing that can be and overwhelming that can be to try to like figure it out and just speak up and know what is going on, especially if you've been having this just like lurking feeling of I don't feel connected to anybody, nobody truly knows me, and shoot, I don't even know myself. I think that those feelings are coming up because you're not giving yourself time and space to be with yourself, to understand yourself, to vulnerably communicate with yourself. So to start off, do it with yourself. Don't even think about anybody else. Just go to a safe space. For me, that's actually right here. I have a desk right here. I would normally light some incense, get some tea, and I just would spend maybe about, well, I actually would spend about an hour, so that might be a little aggressive for some of you, but 15 minutes a day. And I actually did this every day for a month. And I remember just like reading it, and I was like, oh my God, this is almost like a Bible about myself. Like, it's telling me so much about myself that I like knew but didn't really know at the same time. Like, it's like I knew this stuff, but I never actually like internalized how much of it was true and how much of it affects me day by day. And I did that maybe about 2 months ago, and ever since then I haven't really needed to journal because I know who I am. I'm pretty clear, and if I don't, I can always grab another piece of paper and pen and get the writing. Two, this goes along with the first one. It's accepting all of your truth. So when it comes to just vulnerably communicating with yourself, have compassion, because there are some things that are going to come up that I feel like I initially wanted to judge, and judgment I feel like is the worst thing because it almost like destroys everything beautiful. Like, I'm a big believer in just kind of like not judging other people, but also that means not judging yourself. Give yourself space to be the human being that you are. The person that makes mistakes, the person that is always growing, the person that's always changing, the person that's always working on themselves, the person that's just striving. And with that comes you making mistakes, with you saying some things that you didn't mean, with you writing about some stuff that you're like, oh my God, I really believe that. And I've had a couple of those moments, and they were scary. And even though it was like, whew, that's me, you have to give yourself compassion and just accept it all. This is just who you are. This is where you're at right now. And I think in order for you to advance and to grow, specifically to start vulnerably communicating with other people and not be self-conscious about it, afraid of it, afraid that they're going to do something to hurt you, or that you can't trust anybody, for you to start building that confidence in that sense, it's almost like build that within yourself and accept, like, this is just where I'm at. I don't like that part, but that's okay. I can work on that. Let me read a book about being more nice. Let me read a book about just judging other people. Let me read a book about politics, about being molested as a child. Let me read a book about the effects of rape. Like, Bring all of that up. Do not be afraid of it, because that truth will literally, which is so cliche, but it literally will set you free, because you're looking at it, you're seeing it, and you're basically saying, man, that is deep, that is tough, but that is me. That is what happened to me. That is my truth. That is how I feel. But I want to align with this belief, because I don't believe that me being raped or molested when I was first coming out, I don't believe that that's going to define me till today. That was some hard stuff, but I'm going to understand, what did that do to me and what can I do to be a better person today? And this is what I'm saying about vulnerable communication. Put it all out there and you'll understand yourself on such of a deeper level. And like I keep saying, this vulnerable communication is just about connecting deeply with other folks. But you'll start to connect so deeply with yourself. It's like you naturally are able to connect with other people easier, because it's second nature to you. It's like, I do this with myself all the time, so I can do this with anybody else and be completely fine. And then this leads me to my third point. You have to determine who to vulnerably communicate with. So this one is a little bit trickier, because I don't think that you should just be speaking your truth and all your intimate, deep, dark secrets to everyone. But if you do, that's your thing. That's fine. To each his own. But for me, I believe that I started doing this with folks that I believed truly care. And I think we all have this sense of knowing when someone actually is being honest and truthful and showing you that they care about you. And what I've noticed, and my intention is to do this myself, is it's like that attentive listening. It's like they're here. Their whole body is here. Their attention is here. They're not on their phone. They're not talking. They're not out of it. They're just focused on you. You have all their attention. And that's because they care about you. They want to know what is going on with you and how can I support you, because I think you're an awesome person. So I'm just here to listen and to support you. And if you don't even want any feedback, you don't want me to do anything, my listening ear is enough. And I feel like we've all experienced that, where we were going through something tough and it's almost like we didn't even want the other person to solve everything. We just wanted them to listen to us and be like, gosh, yeah, that is tough. And that's all that we would need. I remember there was one time I was going through a hard time with my partner, and I couldn't get in contact like with my cousin, who I would normally talk to, and one of my old best friends. We stopped talking, and it got to a place where I reached out to my mother, and our relationship was kind of strained for a while. And I was just like, I just don't have anybody else, and it's just driving me crazy in my head. And I talked to her, and she just listened. And she never used to do that. She would normally just prescribe what to do and tell me this, that, and the other, and why this is happening, and calm down, and da-da-da. But she just listened. And after that conversation, I instantly felt so much better. And I think it's just being heard. You just want people to hear, I'm going through it right now, and this is tough. And that's it. Just being able to vocalize that and put it out there and just let someone in helps you to just get through it. And if you've experienced that, please let me know in the comments below, because I'm starting to wonder if maybe I'm just like making this up. But for me, I truly believe that just having a listening ear just does so much for us. And that's why I say that when it comes to determining someone who you are going to vulnerably communicate with, just seek out those people that you can tell actually are listening to you, and those people that are doing that because they care. They're not doing it to take your information and run with it and tell other people. They actually care about you as a person. And don't just start talking to anyone, in my opinion. But yeah, seek out those people that actually care about you. And I think that this is very important. Just a little side note, when you are dating, your partner should be like your best friend, in my opinion. Like, if you can't vulnerably communicate with your partner, I think things are going to be super, super tough. So if you're dating, or if you are in a relationship, think about that. Can you vulnerably communicate with your partner? And does your partner care? Does your partner actually listen to you when you're talking? Or do they just kind of like blow you off and kind of, okay, yeah. Or are they here for you? So I hope these 3 things helped you, or will help you on your journey to just learning how to vulnerably communicate, and also to determine who to start vulnerably communicating with. I think there's so much power when you're able to be vulnerable with yourself and other people, and I'm very curious to know what you all think. Have you experienced this yourself? Do you have people you can vulnerably communicate with? And how do you think, if you don't, how do you think that being able to do that with someone, how do you think that would help you in your life? For me, it's had a tremendous effect, but I don't want to speak for other people, which is why I want to start that conversation. On that note, remember to be the change you wish to see today. Take care.